where were we? What were we up to? Let's take a look. So this is the one that we had just finished. Oh, I guess I still have to sort through the existing stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of junk in here. I guess we can. I guess we don't really want to sort through it all now, but we might want some of these resources possibly. So I'll grab a couple things. But welcome, Black Belt Crafter. Welcome, What's Drifting 10. Welcome, JJ Bonzik. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's look at the board. Let's see what we want to do. So we can do the caboose token redelivery feature. That one we have to kind of create a feature. This one we need to debug freight train arriving. This one might be difficult. Adding an ender chest sounds pretty boring. We'll have to go mine some obsidian. I don't know. Sounds pretty boring. More caboose tokens. So we have to make some more tokens. That sounds also boring. How was the seminars? It was good. Just got power back last night, so missed your stream. Ooh, power. Why am I the best one? I wouldn't say I am the best one, but thank you for the compliment. The PHP conference was really awesome. I really enjoyed learning a lot, and meeting other programmers and stuff like that. And then also just checking out Vegas was a lot of fun. A lot of different shows, and saw like Cirque du Soleil, and saw a bunch of different hotels, and did like the Tournament of Kings, the like the medieval times type of thing. It's fun. You know, where they deliver your food, and then like, you know, I've done medieval times before, so I guess I knew that from before. But they drop off your food, and like you have soup, and I was like, oh, I don't have, like they switched my seat, so I thought maybe they didn't give me silverware. But then I looked around and nobody else has any silverware, so I'm like, okay, so you just drink out of the bowl, and then they bring like your plate with all the chicken and like the potatoes and all this stuff, and then you just eat it with your hands. But anyway, yes, I'm glad you have your power back. What was the? I'm trying to remember where you're from. East Coast, right? So what sort of storm? Maine. Okay. So is it wintry up there, or is it just like storms, or what happened to your power? What's the deal? Okay. All right. So we also need to style the rail between these two stations. That might be a decent thing to work on. Or we can move stuff around. Went back. Oh no. Knocked over mass quantities of trees. Oh, I gotcha. Strong winds. Okay. So what do we want to work on today? So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 mixer home stream. Interesting. Oh, I see. I got you. You went back to the home page. Let's do a little poll action. So we're gonna do well, I guess I don't want to type all these out. So what should we work on? What's your vote? So we have 1 through 6, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What should we work on? 2. You like number 2. Debugging freight train arrival. Okay, we could do that. So do we have any other votes? Or should we just go with number 2? Arrive at. Oops. What? Okay, so we go with number 2, unless there's any other. 2 is fine with you, or 5. This one here. Okay. All right. So we'll see how well this works, and then if that doesn't really work out, we'll go to 5. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to get some freight trains. We need to have them arrive. So let's look at this. So by default, they're going to be going the wrong direction. So if we can get the train to say that it wants to go. Oh, and actually, yeah, okay. So I might. Nobody's on the server, so I can briefly lie to the whole station. So if I change that one track to always go that direction, then I can make it so that the train, as soon as I launch it, if it has no tokens, it will just go and loop around and then come back. So what we're going to try and do is make it so that the train will actually properly sort through. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that track down below. BasketMC station, yes. This is the main train station. So what we want, we'll probably need a little bit of rail because I'll need to outsmart that section because that initial section is if it's actually unpowered right now, that'll make it a little bit easier. But we'll see. We'll see what we're working with. We'll grab some rail, and we're gonna need chest mine carts. So we have a bunch of. Grab some more iron. What are we doing? So we are. We're going to debug. So this whole train station has a smart rail setup, so that you can arrive with a train, and then the first part of your train is an engine, the last part's a caboose, and then inside, in between there, you can have a passenger cart with yourself, and then potentially freight cars carrying a bunch of stuff. What's supposed to happen is, when you arrive at this station, the freight cars should end up being moved into here. The passenger carts just go back into the system. And then the engine and caboose go down into a spot where they get emptied and then delivered over to a big stack over here. But what happened, at least last time when I was messing around, it seemed like not all of the freight cars got in the right spot. Whoa! I meant to tell you that a couple weeks ago, Jan was on Hypermine and says the same thing. You were about someone with an auto sorting mod looking in her chest. Yeah, right. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, especially I'm assuming it's Soap the Great because he uses some different mods, and so yeah, he opened up a chest and automatically rearranged everything in my chest. Or somebody was really bizarre and like went through all my chests and rearranged everything. Okay, all right. So let's see if we can outsmart this intersection. So I guess first we want to make an easy route to get down here. So let's take that out for now. We pop down here. So what we want to find out is if this is powered or unpowered right now. So if we just put this on top, will it switch? No. Okay, so it's actually right now it's powered underneath. So we'll need to outsmart this to bypass this little spot. So what we need to do, well, actually, yeah. So what we can do now is we can actually just take out that other rail, and so that will connect it up, even though it's powered, it's still going to go that direction. So now if any train comes down and has no tokens to indicate which direction it should go, it's going to now default to going this direction. And then it's going to loop back around and immediately arrive at the same station. So this way we can launch trains from here and simulate them arriving from some other station. So then we need chest minecarts. So we're going to need to find some chests. I have a bunch on me already, good. We're going to need to make a couple things. We'll need to put something inside the carts, and we also want, just to make it easier, to do some science. We don't really want these carts down here, so we're going to have to we're going to have stuff everywhere. So let's do that. So we want to get all of this stuff just inside some chest. I guess cobble chest is where it's going to go. Oh, and actually, we want this to stick around. Song background. Drowning out my voice. Is that the case for everybody? Is everybody feeling that same thing? Should be turned down pretty low. But if that is the case, let me know, definitely. You sound okay to you? Okay, alright. Well, yeah, I think it's usually... Alright, so it might just be possibly with your settings or something, maybe. Welcome, 50 Harbor. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so now we've cleared out this thing. So what should happen is freight cars, because we actually don't have... There should be like a whole freight... like storage area down below, but we haven't built all that yet. So right now, freight cars should all just arrive in here after we go. So we're gonna do a couple of those. All right, you'll be back in a minute. Sounds good. So we don't need all this iron on us. We need a little bit of inventory space. So let's grab a couple of these carts here just to make it easier on us. What we're gonna do for now is we're gonna start by saying go to the iron farm station. So in 60 seconds, 30 seconds, some carts will arrive for our engine and our caboose. Meanwhile, we're also going to, we don't need to actually have a passenger cart on this one because we're going to be sending it inside the same section, so it's going to be the same loaded zone. So let's see if there is one cart that's related to the freight. So it has 3 wood inside of it. This one is not going to be programmed. It has a bunch of other random junk for some reason. Doesn't make sense. But we actually don't want it to have these tokens. So we're going to take those tokens out. So all it will have is engine, which will tell it just to go to the beginning. And then over here we have the caboose, which is there. And then the extra tokens we have, now we actually have a spot where we can put them. So if we put the extra token in here, that will now go down, be sorted back, and be put back into where it goes. Much better. Awesome. Good. Glad to hear it. So what we want to do is we want to be able to hit this button, and we want to see, we want to be able to see how the train gets sorted from down below. So let's think about that. We want to be standing over that direction and be able to see it. So we can trigger that. Let me go down below and see if there's a good way. So when I actually hit that button, that pushes this thing down. Wait. Yeah, it pushes this thing down, which sends a signal over to power a bunch of things. Right? Wait. Yes. Yeah. Happy Halloween. Yes. I did not go trick-or-treating. I was a Scrooge this time. And in fact, I didn't even give out candy because I was out of town and my wife decided not to give out candy. So she didn't buy any candy, so we didn't give out any candy. That's right. That's okay. Mixer is glitching on you. Oh no. So you hit the button, this thing goes, oh, I actually do have a button already here, so that helps a little bit maybe. But so when that goes down, what is this line that triggers here? So that swaps these things. That's on a timer. This timer sends a signal. It moves it over here and then briefly toggles this thing. Oh, I see. This is set up so that if there is a train coming through and you didn't hit this button, that the train will automatically go down and then just be sorted. But what this does is that you can, when you hit the button for the duration of the train, the train will actually be allowed to leave. So I can show you that in a second. Okay, so that's what that is. Good. So that's what that timer is. Also, then it sends this signal over this direction, which launches each of these carts in sequence. And then also it sends a signal this direction, which does who knows what. You gotta go? Alright, well, thank you for stopping by. It sends the signal. Actually, okay, so it doesn't send the signal. Interesting. So this signal that I was looking at is actually going the other direction. It's going this direction. So what that does is right here it triggers. Looks like it triggers the last. It triggers the caboose. So this line must be when there's a new engine and caboose arriving. It kicks out. Okay, yeah. So it comes up here and it kicks out the. So why is it connecting there? Why would that be the case? So that when the thing goes down. Oh, I see. Okay, so this first one here isn't actually going to the. Okay, I got it. Right. I think. Which way is this facing? Yeah, it's facing that direction. Okay, all right. Anyway, so yes, I do have a YouTube channel. If somebody would be so kind as to type in the YouTube channel, thank you very much, Jujubunzu. So when you hit this button down, it does a few different things. It triggers this thing, this rail that's up there to allow the train to actually leave for a certain amount of time. This is a timer. And then it also releases these in sequence. Okay. So we've established that. Good. So then when the train arrives over here, the train comes in here and goes over this. This detects, is it an engine? And if it is, it should move it over here. Then the next thing it does is it detects if, I think this is, if this is a chest minecart that has anything inside of it. It should be cycled this direction and move down and go down there. And then from here, this thing will collect the carts, wait a little bit of time, and kind of space them out in a certain amount of space. And that goes along here, and then should end up sending the first cart, which is the freight cart, up and around and then into there. The other one should end up going up here and into that. And that goes into the emptying area. So there's a little spot in here where they'll either appear, they'll either be turned this direction. So this is what should be when it's caboose. Otherwise, it comes this direction. And right now, it'll drop down onto that rail and then shoot all the way up into that freight area. Okay. So, what we need to do. So I want to be able to trigger it and be kind of over here. So I might set in a delayed button. That might be the easiest way to do this. I mean, the easiest way is having 2 people, but I don't have 2 people. Well, I guess I kind of do have 2 people. How easy is it to bring on my spectator account? I want to change who I'm logged in as. Oh, I don't have it. I don't think I have it set up in the new Minecraft. Okay, alright, so I won't do that. So what we'll want to do is from down here, make it so I can hit the button and then get over here fast enough. So I guess if I do it from up above, there'll be less stuff to run into. And then I can drop down onto this and be able to see it. So what is above here? So we're going to break this. Okay, so that'll be where I'll drop down. Did I get that block? No. Oh, I'm full. My inventory's full. Okay. So we'll see if this works. So let's go up top. We'll probably want less stuff in our inventory. Furnaces. No block. Okay. So when we hit the button, we're going to run and drop down here. And then get over there quick enough to be able to see what's happening. Okay, now we're down here. So then the train will arrive, and what we want to see is where do they all sort through. So it should be that one turns immediately. Okay, good. Next one should turn there. Next one should turn... It's low, but next one should turn at the second spot. Okay, good. So that part worked. The next part is that down here... There's the 2 carts, and they're spaced apart a certain amount. So one of them dropped down there. They both dropped down there. So they both ended up being treated as freight, right? Are they both going to go in there? Did they both go in, or what happened there? Thank you for the follow, 50 Harbor. Do we have 2 carts in here? Or just the one? We have just the caboose. Interesting. Is the other one down below in the bottom area? Did it go all the way down here? Aha. Ah, right. Okay, so it's... So the way I'm dropping them onto that thing, they're actually coming all the way down here, and they're not really going... They're not keeping the momentum when they're hitting this thing. They're actually going all the way down below first, which is not really what we want. Okay, so let's get up top. But either way, the caboose should not have gone to the freight area. That one should have gone back to the other area. So let's get back up top. Double check our logic for some of this stuff. So this, right now, I'm dropping them onto this rail. And I kind of figured that it was going to hit here and then go up and end up going up this rail, but instead it actually hits that and then goes down. So it doesn't really keep the same momentum like I was hoping. So, right? Is that what's happening? Let's do another one. So if we take this guy, we put it here. I just want to make sure I'm not going to bump anything. That's okay. So we put it here and we make it go. It drops down and then goes down first. Okay. So if we, let's see. What's the best way to get it connected to that? Is it about like the distance it's falling? Like if I still wanted to be able to keep this kind of how it's working, but I do something like, so we'll put some blocks here. And maybe one more up from that. And I go this direction. Will that be enough to keep its momentum? So if it's dropping down, I don't really know exactly where it's going to fall. I guess if we bump it, so we go like this, and we give it a backdrop, and we power it. We have cobble and sticks. Good. So let's power that. And then put one there, and then just regular rail. So what I want to see is do I want to keep this? Because I don't know if I can go back down. Although I don't know if I really have to. Okay, so what I want to see is if I drop something onto here, if it will go back up. So let's do it from this starting point. Will it go up or will it go down first? So let's go do it here. Okay, so here it actually will keep on going up. So it's about the distance it's falling down. It loses all of its forward momentum. So now let's go back up top. I guess the easiest way is to run up this thing. And then we just need to add in some blocks to make sure that it's going to fall like straight down. So it'll actually hit those spots. Yes. So I'll go like that. We'll add a couple blocks down on the bottom. That might be enough. I guess hopefully that's enough because I can't really get down there. So let's see if that will fix that part of it. Then the second part is the whole, that the caboose shouldn't have gone there. But before we fix the caboose, I want to try a couple different variations of the whole thing. So let's go up here. We need a new engine. And caboose. Oh, there's a hole there. I forgot. Okay. So then what we want is... we want one more chest minecart. So this is our freight. We'll have 3 of those. We'll get rid of this. Put it over here so that it goes back into the system. You suck at Minecraft. Oh no. Well, as long as you're having fun, that's the important part. Okay. So now I have all those things in place. So we'll hit the button, go down below again, and then we'll try to see, make sure the engine and the caboose and stuff go on the right lines, and then we'll see if they end up. I should have cleared out the other area. There might still be time. Okay, so this is all clear. I don't think that any of those were from this train. We'll see in a second. So how many things are going to arrive? 2 things arrived. Okay, good. So that's promising. So we have the wood. If you notice, it's interesting. So here it actually, assume there's a slight problem with something in there, but this thing has three pieces of wood, but one of them is actually has been moved. It's supposed to so it drops it off at a hopper to know that it has a car with a freight train with stuff, and it gives it back to it, but it actually ends up putting it in a different spot. Anyway. So now the caboose shouldn't be here. I mean, in the long run, we don't want it to always ending up here. Okay, that's fine. So now what we want to do is test it with 3 carts and see if 3 carts are. It's like a perfect spot for me to always run into whenever I want to walk through that. We want to see if there are 3 carts, or they're like two freight carts. If the 2 freight carts and the caboose end up in the in that area. So if we go like this, so now we're going to have these 2. We'll have 3 wood and these and those. We'll make this guy not turn left. You gotta run? Alright, well, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Okay, caboose. So now we can hit the button and see if all 3 of these end up in that area. I need to move faster. All these noises in my ear. Okay. So there's the 1, there's 2, there's 3. And then the next one should also come through and turn there. Awesome. Okay. Let's pop down here. So there's the 3 carts. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So they all ended up in freight. Okay. So that's as I expected. It's not the right answer in the long run, but that's the first step. So we have. So what's interesting is that the items that it picks up and drops off are not quite right. So that's gonna be a problem. So this thing should not have any stuff in it, which is partly the problem. So we'll fix that. We'll see if that will fix the problem. So let's just break all these. Good. I don't really care about those. So then what we want to do, now that we've cleared out that extra stuff, let's get another set. And we will make some more chest mine carts. We'll do the same test. And we'll see if the 2 freight ones end up with items, but then the other ones don't. So this should have 3 and 3. So they arrive. We'll take away this guy's tokens. And I guess I can just hold on to it for now. So we'll hit the button. Oh, missed it. Hit the button. So actually we can change the angle since we've seen that a few times. Let's change what we're looking at. So over here, in fact, I shouldn't really stand here, but so that it ends up collecting the whole train first. So all 3 are there, they're stacked, and now they're going to be released in a certain sequence. So I'll pop down here now. So they get released, they end up getting dropped onto that thing, and they get moved up top. So what we're testing right now is whether or not the 3 or the 2 cars with wood have the 3 wood, or if it still is messed up. So yeah, so it's still messed up. Interesting. So that one has it, but then that one's missing it, and it ends up in the caboose. So that's no good. So what we need to do, let's drop off some of these tokens we have. I just realized I'm collecting a bunch of caboose tokens too. So caboose tokens, and then that one. So what we kind of need to do is slow down the train. You have no idea why any of this works. Yeah. Well, okay, so the first thing we'll look at that we're trying to fix is the is the freight car, the items that it picks up. So if we look over here, I will need some smooth stone blocks. So we come up into this. No, if we come down here. So this first thing here, what this does is, this is the one that says, if it comes around here, this thing grabs an item, and if the cart had an item inside of it, it means it's a chest minecart, which then makes this thing change. It turns around here and then goes down. And the idea is it should grab the item back that it had already dropped off. But if you notice, there's actually one stray item inside of it. So the stuff that's going around here is going too quick, and the item hasn't had a chance to go all the way through yet. So we actually want to delay its movement a little bit and make it be a little bit further out. So looking at the space here, I could just add on some extra blocks just to make it go a little bit further out. Oh, I wanted to do this. Yeah, and so what it does is it grabs the item, which says that it's a chest minecart with items. So then this thing changes, and it's supposed to come down here and then grab back its item, so it never lost an item in the process of doing all this. So I guess I can't delay it too much. I need to find the fine point between when the next cart's coming across and when it's going through. It needs to grab its item back. But I think this should be fine. So let's break that. We'll add in this here and then have it just cycle back around. So that might delay it enough so that the train will end up with the proper items. So let's go up top. Try this again. And we're going to see if the two carts will have its proper items. So let's get a train in here. And before I am done for the day, remind me to fix the rail. In case people actually use this on the server, make sure that I fix the rail down there so that they can actually leave the station properly. Because I might forget. Alright, so these are in place here and there. Made a note, thank you. Put in 3 logs. 3 logs. Get rid of the destination token on that. Hit the button. Run downstairs. Boop, 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 boop. And then one more. We can actually take a peek right now. So if we look in this, it's empty, which is a good sign. So the caboose runs through. It goes down there. It stacks up the trains, releases them in a certain sequence so that they're spaced exactly how much I want them apart. So what this thing does is the train goes down. When it drops down, it hits a tripwire, right? There's a tripwire here. Oh, I see. Yeah, it shoots across, lands on top of this tripwire. So that's indicating that this thing has carts there. There's a timer. There's 2 timers. One timer, which is, which one's which? So this one over here is how long do I wait? So this thing is set up to wait long enough for the entire train to stack up. So there might be, freight cars filling up the whole thing. So this would stack up the whole train, and then this is how far apart they should be spaced. So this thing determines the spacing, and we'll fix that in a second. But first I want to just verify that if we come up here, the 2 cars that should have 3 logs have 3 logs. So let's take a look. So we have 3 logs, and if you notice, it's rearranged them slightly, but that's fine. And then we have the freight, or the whatever it's called, the caboose. Okay, good, excellent. I don't want to lose those. So now we can go up top. So now what we want to do is adjust. So we can preemptively get another train here. Does or will the storage carts end up emptying to an auto sorting system? No. What they will do is where am I? So this is the test world where I've designed stuff. So ignore some of this monstrosity back here because I've redesigned that better. But down here, mobs are on. Whatever, that's fine. Down here, this is the freight yard that will eventually maybe exist underneath Basket Station. And so this whole thing is set up so that your train can arrive. It will end up arriving from the middle here. So it comes in, and then we'll sort into each of these spots. And then automatically space it out. And then when it gets the caboose, it indicates that this is done. So even if you only have 2 cars arrive, when your caboose comes through, it says, okay, well, this whole train is done. So now indicate that the next spot is the one that should have stuff arrive. So this is the whole freight yard. So then from here, you can click on a lever, which will send all the items over into a storage system where so if you're having a train arrive and you say, okay, my train's here, empty it out, all the items will drop out and move over and then put into a chest. But it's not like a sorting system where it's going into the main system. It's just that and then so if you wanted to then have your stuff arrive, there'd be a way where you could indicate, fill up a freight train. So all these chest minecarts would come in. You could fill in your stuff. So if you're going to send, whatever materials you're planning on sending away, you can put them into the chest minecarts, hit a button, all those would arrive, and then drop into the places up here. And then you could hop in your train and then go to wherever you're going. And then when you come back, then it pulls in the train and does all that stuff. So it holds for whoever sent the collection. Yeah, so it's not that I'm like receiving the items into the station and then sorting them in any sort of like mass sorting system or anything. This is where trains could arrive that have freight cars. Then the people could empty them, or if they wanted to, if this is just the in-between spot, they would arrive here. They could just immediately say, send these cars up top. It would go up top, and then they could pick a destination and then go on. So if like, let's say they're at a station that has certain destinations that doesn't include where their final destination, this could just be a waypoint. So they would go to here, come down here, indicate that the train's ready to go. It would all go up top. They could pick a new destination and then go. Welcome back, Drifter. Drifting. What's drifting? You drift. Okay, so that's the freight yard. Yeah, everybody is responsible for their own train. Yeah, exactly. So this isn't like the Iron Farm on Team BS Patron server where I'm just storing like everything. So this is where I don't really have a storage. You might have them all. Some other people have suggested shulker boxes being involved in this, but I don't even own any shulker boxes on the server. If shulker boxes were an unlimited resource, or a resource that's like not, a super pain in the butt to get, then I might actually have some of those around. But because I don't, this whole design does not rely on shulker boxes at all. All right, so what we want to do? So let's get the 2 carts in place. We need to adjust the logic so that this design I came up with was before shulker boxes existed. So I haven't modified it to include that. I've been working on this for a while. And if I was in some other server or wherever, if I could get shulker boxes in some easier manner, I would change the way this works quite a bit to involve clever things with shulker boxes. But okay, so what we want to do is look down below and find out why the caboose is ending up in the freight section. So let's take a look at what it's supposed to do. So what happens is, and it might just be a simple thing as the counter is messed up. But so the train gets dispensed on here in a certain sequence. It comes over here, triggers this line that comes across there, which moves an item around in here. And so when it's a certain amount, let's see. So when the strength of it's a certain amount, then it will send the signal over and then turn this intersection here to be toggled. Otherwise, no, I'm sorry. And then either way when they go through, they deduct the count. So really, it might just be no, actually. So I was gonna say maybe it's a matter of that the count's messed up. But looking at these carefully, it looks like that's not the case. Okay, so they are. It is okay. It doesn't have what I was thinking, that I might see a sword sitting in here. But what happens is when this line gets triggered, so I think we can manually do that somehow. Let's see. So when this line gets triggered once, saying the first thing that came through, then it's not quite strong enough. So when there's only one car involved, it will make it go this direction, which should be the caboose. But then before that first car gets a chance to cross and go through that intersection there, the next one's supposed to come through, and then trigger this again. So then that would be that this was triggered again, which makes this signal strong enough to reach all the way over and make the car go straight. So it goes straight, comes over here, ends up in the freight area. But what's supposed to happen is that the last one, which is the caboose, should end up coming through here after this thing's already toggled. So it might just be a timing thing. So what we can do is we need to fix the count for one. So if we just do this once and then twice, that should fix this. Okay. So what we want to do is now we'll trigger the train, and we want to run down here and then observe this stuff to see that caboose. When the caboose comes through, how off is it, sort of thing. So let's get up top, load up our train. Nope. So we have this. We want to not include that. We have our freight. Awesome. Caboose is fine. So we will. What's the best way to get down there? We'll go this way, just to get down there, and then we can go. No, I guess we'll go through this building really quick. There's enough of a delay built in, so I'm not too worried about it. But all right, so we'll go here. So now what we want to see is as the three cars come through, we'll come forward a little bit more. Yeah, okay. This should be good. So we can now observe. So it goes straight. That's fine. Go straight. That's fine. I can't quite tell what was happening there. I guess my angle wasn't great. Okay, let's do it again with a better angle. Yeah, they're all up here. Good. So we're going to try it again with a better angle so we can actually see when that track switches. Stupid hole. Okay. All right, we want chest Minecart. Okay. Dragon. So what we're gonna do is just stand right here. Okay. So now we have a perfect angle to see everything. So they're coming through. You can see them piling up over there. So the first one comes through and ends up triggering it. Oh, okay. So it's only off by like nothing. Although the first one, didn't have a lot of time, I think, before it changed. But if we separated them just a tiny bit more, which I believe will just involve adding, let's add two more blocks into this, so they'll be spaced out a tiny bit more. We'll see if that changes things or not. It's possible that that'll make the first one not end up in the right spot also. So we have to keep that in mind. I'm full on chess. Oh yeah, I guess I am accumulating more because the caboose is being involved here too. Oh, now I did it again. It's like a perfect spot. Okay. Don't fall in the hole. Grab the token. Okay, and go. And then go over here. Go. I guess it's probably a faster way of getting here. Okay, so now what happens? So does the first one make it, and will the caboose go in the right spot? First one's good. Okay, will you switch? Oh, no, you won't. How interesting. I could add more just to see if what I'm thinking this is doing is actually doing it. Let's verify that we have the sides right. And that's not the delayed side. So this sends a signal into this, which releases them. Okay, you know, this is the delay between the releases. Yeah. Let's add two more, just to see if that makes any impact. It's really close. I'm not falling the hole this time. Let's start. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the problem is, like, I need to make sure that I delay that enough so that it'll have enough time for the thing to switch, but then also not have that impact the first one. To these guys. It's really close, it seems. It seems like but it could also be that what I'm changing is not actually impacting it at all. I'm not sure. So go, and then, yeah, I guess I'll go this way. I feel like there might be a faster way if I go this way. Or not. This might be the worst idea. Okay, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great idea. I thought I was positioned a little bit differently. But I mean, I think this will work. Alright, we still got here. Welcome back. Alright, so now let's watch. The first one, okay. First one's fine. It still feels it's really, really close, so I feel like I'm not really impacting it at all. Huh. Well, we can go one step further. Yeah, it looks like the same timing. So let's just push it to the extreme and see if it's actually doing what we think it's doing. So I just added, so it used to be, I think 12 when we first started, right? So we're gonna go a bit more than that. And see if, oops. See if that's the case. So we're gonna go 64 plus a little bit more, and see if and see if that causes the same thing. Stupid hole in the ground. Okay, boop. All right, so we have chest minecart. Nope, nope, nope. Not at all what I want. But this does kill time while we wait for this thing to arrive. Boop. Hasn't arrived yet. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say. What's wrong? It's broken. Okay, and we want to make sure we get rid of this. And then hit the button. And then run downstairs. And then if everything should end up at the caboose. If what I changed is right, or is what I think it is, they should be spaced out far enough where they're all going to end up at the caboose. Maybe. So there's the first one. So no, it's not really spacing them out any more than it was before. I'm short a train. Why am I short a train? So this isn't... No, okay. I got it. So this timer is not exactly what I thought it was. This isn't how far apart they should be. This is how long should I do it for. So that should just go back to 12. This right here is how long between the trains. So let's go ahead and add another repeater, I guess. Or possibly adjust the delay with this. So we have one repeater in there. So if we made it so that there's less of a delay, I guess we could try to space them out a little bit more by adjusting this. So we want the signal that comes out this direction to go a little bit longer. I want to make sure it doesn't interact with any of this other stuff. So we might do this. So we'll just add one tick in the process. That'll power that block, which will power that thing. So that should work. Did you build in Creative? So initially, when I was planning a lot of this stuff, I built it in Creative. But this here is actually in Survival. This whole build here. So I think that should add one more tick delay between the cards. Oh, and I guess I could have done that just by doing that. So let's do that instead. Just so we add less variables into it. So I guess this one is set for 3. So let's see if that changes anything at all. We'll see. So let's get Let's not fall down the hole. Don't fall down the hole. Get a destination train. Let's build. Let's put our 2 carts in. Okay. Grab this guy. Okay, hit the button. And now we'll see. Now they're actually going to be spaced apart. One more tick, I think. Unless I bump the thing and then change the back. And then we'll see if that breaks the first one or not. Okay. I feel like I'd probably break the first one. We'll see. Yep. Break small. It's interesting that only 2 of them are coming through now. Why is that? What did I do? Alright, I'll put this back. There's one more thing we can adjust besides this. There's a delay that runs across over here. What I don't understand is where is my other cart? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, unless some auto caboose tokens. That seems unlikely. There's this signal that comes across this way. There's this here. So this is how long of a wait before it will toggle this setting here. So I could also make this be slightly less. So let's try that variable. Let's move that one tick less, so there's less of a. Oh god, I almost fell. Well, a little bit less of a delay for the clearing signal of the token, which might have the same effect that I just tried to do. I don't know where the other cart ended up. The part was weird. My dogs might freak out in a second. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, so yeah, where's the caboose? Good question. Let's verify the caboose actually has stuff inside of it. When the next one comes, it's possible that if the caboose is arriving with no items, that it's being sorted differently. We'll see. So, grab this item. Double check the caboose. No, there's no caboose. So, that'll explain why there's no caboose. So what is the caboose doing? I'm going to guess that there's a cart that's stuck. Yeah, there's a cart. Somehow this one. Oh, I think this one was launching at one point when I logged into the single player server. I logged out while this thing was in motion. So it got stuck in the wrong spot. So now it's here. Okay. We actually want it upstairs. So go on. And then a replacement one will come in. How do I get up? Come here. Yeah, so if you log out while things are in motion, when you log back in, they stop. It's kind of a shame. A lot of things can survive that, but that's one that can't. Alright, so now this is here. Has some items. I'm not falling into the hole. I don't have an engine. Okay, so we're just going to hit the button again. When this thing arrived, it cleared out the engine. So, this will clear out. An engine and caboose should arrive. If everything is going to work right. Okay, so that leaves. Good. Engine and caboose arrive. Okay, good. And the caboose has items. Amazing. The engine has an extra token that I want to get rid of. Yes, good. Okay, so we'll hit the button. And now we'll check to see if they sort out like we want or not. So we added, we reduced the amount of delay. What's that from? We reduced the amount of delay on this line. So in theory, they might clear that sword out slightly sooner. So that one's fine. That one's fine. That's the weirdest behavior I've ever seen in my life. What? That's not how Minecraft works. What? Alright, so then what is it? What happens to it? Interesting. So it goes back to there. And doesn't really get noticed. Interesting. Okay, well, we can adjust this. So this thing is going to push it off onto this thing. So we actually don't need this to be sloped. Let's see. If it falls onto that. Yeah, okay, so we could just take this out. We'll still want it to be a powered rail. Okay, let's do this. Oh no, I just dropped both. What's closer? I guess I don't know if I have any more powered rail anywhere else. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Good, yes. Yeah. Nice one. It's just as way. Yeah, I don't understand why. Is there any? Can you think of any reason? That's not how the rail works in the thing. Like the thing turned at the right time and it should have just turned, but instead it went backwards. It's very weird. Okay, so now we are back here. What we want to do is try this whole thing without that being sloped. I think that will work. So what happens is they arrive here, this thing pushes it onto here, and then they'll go. Only guess is it is perfectly hits the rail. Yeah, but that should be fine. I mean, I guess I kind of want to see that happens again. So we're gonna not modify this, but next thing we'll do is we'll reduce this one more, and we'll see what happens. Well, let's try it with the current setup. Let's grab one more cart. Request the rail not fall in the hole. We're running low on time, so we need to get this resolved. So it's in between directions, but I mean the two options are either straight or to the right. So there's no. So even if it's in between the direct, like, it doesn't make any sense that it would bounce back like that. There's nothing that should make it go backwards. But we'll try it again. We'll see if it happens again. So 3. They arrive. We take the item. Are you trying to? Yeah, there is logic. I mean, it's programmed. This thing is a cart with stuff in it. Amazing. We're gonna hit the button. We're gonna run back down there. We're gonna see if it gets rejected again. But so even if it does get rejected, with my modification of the other spot, assuming it works at all, it should now bounce back there and then come all the way back and then go in the right spot. So we'll see. Oh, I almost fell. Okay, so the train is arriving. Now it will go. So the first one is good. Okay, the problem is that our sword count is off because that one bounced back. It never went through. In fact, it went through twice. So there should actually, yeah, there's two extra swords in here than there should be. So what we need to do is we need to decrement the count twice. So now just double check to make sure that our sword count is correct. It is. Amazing. And we'll try again. We want 2 carts. Thank you. And we'll request, not fall in the hole, request some stuff. We got 2 carts. Nope. Yep. Get everything all set up for our test. Grab this token. Hit the button. Run downstairs. Okay. So if it bounces back again, we're going to delay this but one more. And we'll see if it still works. So the first one's okay. Good. Interesting. So it switched, but in that case it actually still went forward. So I guess we will delay it one more. And we'll see if it still works. You built all that. Yes, I did. This and then all the rest of the crazy stuff in this whole place. Okay. Let's pop back up top. We'll try it one more time. Welcome, by the way, welcome, holy moly, exactly, yes, yeah. Oh, don't fall down the hole. Welcome, Strix the moderator. Okay, so we'll see if that, so we've reduced it one more tick. We're debugging some train mechanics. Looking for the follow. Strix the moderator. We'll see if that impacts it good or not. It's it's just a regular mully. Okay, so we'll hit the button, run down there, and really hope that it at least it didn't bounce back. That was a weird behavior. So we'll pop in here. Now what we want to see is if, so when it comes through, we want the first 2 to go straight and the last one to go down here. So the first one's coming. Go straight. Amazing. Amazing. Yes! Okay, great. So, so then what that does is we can't really get over there very easily. But so this, the caboose ends up running up into here, into this emptying area. It empties out the cart and then launches it. Heroes in training. Awesome. Trains, yes. Yes, welcome, Black Belt Crafter. So, yeah, awesome. Amazing. So the freight cars ended up in the freight area, which is temporarily just my basement down here. And then the caboose gets sorted out from all the stuff and then ends up coming up here and then goes through there. So what happens is the engine gets sorted out in the beginning from here and goes through and then goes into the same area up here where it gets emptied and then puts back on the stack. You're actually Exo Gamer. Yeah? Cool. And then the rest of the cars that have items go down here and get collected and then distributed at the right timing, so that it will end up taking the whole train will go one direction. The last cart in the train will turn into a different direction. So the last cart is I just empty it and then put it back on the stack. All the other ones I want to go into the basement because they have items that I want to actually hold on to. So that's amazing. So that worked. Let's go ahead and break all of these. We'll put the items back in the right spots. We'll fix that rail, and then we'll have to end out the stream. So let's get a bunch of this stuff up here. Good work, Basket. Give yourself a raise. Cool. Alright, so that's clear up there. Let's pop upstairs. We're going to fix the rail. I got to make sure I actually have rail. I do. Yeah. And then we'll put all the extra tokens we have. Caboose tokens. Intersection 1, turn west tokens. Put all those in there. Let's go fix that rail and this fence. Then we can update our task board. So what we want is put this here. Carefully break that. Put that back on there. So now the default behavior is to go that direction. Then we can come up here. And we can put this back up on top. Oh, we fixed the hole in the ground. That's another important thing. So put that back. We will want to get one of these bars, or one of these here. Fix that. And then fix our board. So we have debug freight train arriving at Basket Station. So I think we have enough. I mean, we didn't do a lot of different variations of the test. It is a brilliant world, you're right. So what I don't know is if there's enough variations in our test, because I only tried it with like 2 trains, but I think that based on the behavior, I think that it will work with the other, like if you only have 1 train or if you have, you know, various things. I think it'll all work because the whole train had arrived before it started launching. So that leads me to believe that this is good. The short version of that, TLDR, good to go. All right, so we have accomplished that. It took a little longer than I should have, but that's all right. So thank you everybody very much for stopping by.